Welcome back to For Goodness Sake, where as a former Mormon, I take a look at the good things that I carry with me into my new, more secular worldview. My name's Tom, and today's topic is Jesus Christ. Is there anything good about Jesus Christ? Is there anything worth hanging on to about the ideas of who he was and what he represented? This is a huge topic, so today I'm just going to give you a top 10. My top 5 things to not carry with me, to reject about Jesus Christ, and my top 5 things to carry with me, to hold on to and to cherish about Jesus Christ. And before I start, I want to just say that I'm not talking about the historical Jesus Christ. I don't think we really know anything about him almost at all. It's entirely possible that the actual person, Jesus Christ, never said any of the things I'm about to talk about. What I am talking about is the image or the symbol or the character of Jesus Christ that we find in the New Testament. So here we go. 5 things to reject about Jesus Christ. Number 5, Apocalypticism. The end is near. Jesus Christ himself said, "This generation shall not pass away before all the things he was talking about come to pass," basically the second coming. It's so dangerous to think about the end being just around the corner. So much better to think in terms of sustainability. Like, we're going to be around for a very long time, and we need to take care of the earth and ourselves and our lives and provide for our descendants. Number 4, miracles. Jesus turned water into wine. He healed the sick. He healed the lame. He healed the blind. There's a story of him spitting in the dirt and taking some mud and putting it on the eyes of a blind man, telling him to go wash, and then the blind man can suddenly see. Hoping for a miracle is wishful thinking. So much better to think about evidence, reason, logic, ways that we can empower ourselves and work towards what we want to accomplish instead of hoping for a miracle. Number 3, human sacrifice. And you say, wait a minute, there's no human sacrifice in the New Testament. And I say, well, read John 3:16. It says, "God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoso believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life." So in other words, God gave Jesus' life as a sacrifice for all of us. So I guess you wouldn't call it human sacrifice, you'd call it divine sacrifice. But in any case, I reject this idea that you can sacrifice one person to solve somebody else's problems. That's not how it works. Number 2, a focus on the next life instead of focusing on this life. Again, from John 3:16, should not perish, but have everlasting life. So in other words, the whole idea is to avoid death and live forever. I reject the idea that next life is somehow more important than this life. This life is the life we know we have. The final teaching to reject from Jesus Christ, number 1, belief in belief. Again, from John 3:16, whoso believeth in him shall not perish. Where's the virtue in believing that so-and-so can save me? What if I believe that somebody else can save me? It doesn't help us to be more virtuous people, believing in a certain person or in a certain idea. Virtue comes from doing good in the world, not from belief. Okay, so what are some of the teachings of Jesus Christ that I do want to hang on to, that I really love? Number 5, renewal. I love how Jesus talks about not putting new wine into old wineskins because it'll burst them. I don't know exactly how that works. Actually, his other analogy is better, more applicable to our modern age, where he says, don't sew on new fabric onto an old garment. It'll just tear it. Sometimes it's important to make a clean break with the past, to throw away the old, and to embrace the new. Number 4, non-violence. Jesus said that we should turn the other cheek when we're attacked. He said that we should love our enemies. I love these ideas of having empathy and love even for those people who are persecuting and hating and causing us to be miserable. Number 3, the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. I love the story of Jesus eating and spending time with the sinners Why are you hanging out with these sinners? Well, because these are the people that need me. I love the story of Jesus spending time with the children. Let them come to me. Let me bless them. Let me interact with them, even though they didn't really contribute to his overall goal of teaching people. These are moments where Jesus seems to see a worth in everyone, no matter their place in society. Number 2, service and generosity towards one another. Jesus said, if you have 2 coats, give one away. If you have enough food, share with those around you. In other words, if you have more than you need, share with the people who are less fortunate. He also talks about serving and loving and helping people, and then says, if you've done this to the least of my brethren, you've done it to me. I don't love that that kind of ends with a loyalty test towards Jesus, but in any case, it shows that what he wants us to be doing is loving and serving and helping each other. And the number one thing to hold on to keep amongst the teachings of Jesus, love one another, even as I have loved you. Obviously, the very most important of all of Jesus' teaching, that we love each other, even as I have loved you. How did Jesus love us? Well, he laid down his life for us. And I already mentioned that I don't think there's any actual efficacy there, but I do think the symbolism is very important because he's setting an example for us, right? That we sacrifice our own comfort, our own convenience, even at times our own lives for the benefit of our fellow beings. So there you go. There's my list. Let me know what yours are in the comments. I'm sure there are many other teachings of Jesus that would deserve to be on the list of things to reject or things to retain. I think it's important that we not put Jesus on a pedestal and assume that he was just perfect. It's more important when we read the New Testament to just be looking for those good things that we can pull out. And that way, instead of doing good for his sake, we can do good for goodness' sake.